Is a presentation of the Cruiser Chris World Network. Today we have Isaac Stangler. He and I have been hanging out a lot for the past few days. The day before yesterday he interviewed me, or I interviewed him, and then yesterday he interviewed me, and today he has agreed to come and perform some Super Bowl songs that he and his band are working on performing, and he's also going to explain parts of the guitar.
Yes.
So
I'll get the nerdy guitar stuff out of there first. So what I have here is an Ibanez 420. It's part of the S series, and these things are great. 3-piece neck, mahogany body, 5-way switch, volume knob, tone knob. I forget which kind of tremolo it has, but yep, it's got that. Locking nuts, fine tuners. Yeah, but anyways, really quick, I'll go through the different switch settings on a clean channel, and then I'll show them on a distorted channel, and then I'll play some tunes.
okay.
Hello. So.
Hello.
With everything wide open. So tone is fully open, and the 5-way switch is down at the very bottom.
And I've got my seatbelt on, so if you go, you know.
Okay, cool.
Music.
You'll be like the guy from like the disc tapes where he's sitting in the chair and the music's blowing his hair around.
Yeah. Well, it's just so that I don't fall out of the chair, you know.
Yeah.
Is Christopher gonna learn?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to learn a little bit about guitar, I'm just gonna go through it.
I'm actually filming for my YouTube channel right now.
Well, good for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
All right. So, which the switch in the first position here, I'm going to go through it a little quick, but here it is. Here's a little bit of a demo. I'm using a Viper 3 amp on the, what setting do I have it on? Crispy Clean. So you can hear...
Kind of like Krispy Kreme, right?
Yeah. Yep. So I'll show you with the tone knob all the way to 10. And then bring this back up, and then flip the humbucker switch all the way to section 5, and then now let's get to the good part. Alright, so I'm going to turn this, let's see here, there we go. Alright, let's see here, let's make sure this isn't overly loud. Yep. Sorry. It really doesn't take much. Okay, so yeah, distorted. And then with the tone knob all the way to 10. And with the humbucker switch all the way at 5. So did you want me to sing along? It might be a bit louder if I sing along, so if you wanted me to just play a couple of Super Bowl riffs, that's totally fine.
And then you can, you can sing. I'm gonna just, I've got my seatbelt on, so I'm good.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn it up just a tiny little bit more if I can. is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be loud, dude. All right. Let's go! Let's get it! The beating heart of the city, the dead of night. Ooh, I hear the scream of a guitar, sets my soul alight. Yeah, welcome to the show, to the morning lights. No other place to go for a quick sign, baby. Where do we go now, baby? Time for the snow of confetti. Where do we go now, baby? I want it, girl, I need it. Come on, give it to me now. All night long. Want it, baby. All night long. Raise the high and catch me if you can. All night long. Want it, baby. Till the sun goes down, but until then it's going down. With the drums in my chest, laying me to rest. Like the howl of the wolf, these thoughts detach. Listen, if you will, to these chorus lines. That rider's finding getting such a thrill all night long. All night, baby. All night long. Raise the high and catch me if you can. All night long. All night, baby. Till the sun goes up, but until then it's going down. All night long. All night, baby. All night long. Ring my neck and scream it for love. Oh yeah! Sing, scream it, rock it all night long. All night, baby. All night long. Raise the high and catch me if you can. All night long. All night, baby. All night long. Raise the high and catch me if you can. Yeah.
That was good. I enjoyed that. Now, I noticed that it appeared to me that you were singing in a falsetto. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How long did it take you to learn the falsetto?
It's actually pretty funny. I learned it backwards. I could actually sing really high. I was originally rhythm guitarist for my first band, Vulcan, and then when the original lead singer left, I remember it being like 10 p.m. and we were all outside and we were doing Running with the Devil, like... Oh yeah! Oh yeah! But I actually had my falsetto covered, and I actually had to go through about 2 years of vocal lessons to be able to sing stuff like Bryan Adams or Bon Jovi, where it's like right at the cusp of falsetto, but like full power. I had no power for the longest time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
I don't know if you wanted to hear Dirty Circus. That one's a bit more like in that Bon Jovi, Bryan Adams range.
Sure.
Okay. I don't care what you say about me. It's all bullcrap anyways. The love for you is dying slowly as I count down the days. place. I don't need to be a dick, but I don't care that you're sorry that you had your love affair. 'Cause I don't share. I'll be okay now, baby. Don't you worry at all. 'Cause I ain't nervous. I'll be on my way now, baby. I am moving on from the dirty circus. It's time I moved on to the next place where I won't see your face. The secrets you were keeping from me are now right between the sides. You left me in the dark discreet light, but I turned on the lights. You apologize, but I don't give a damn. You've been getting lucky, now you're out of luck. 'Cause lightning struck. I'll be okay now, baby. Don't you worry at all. 'Cause I ain't nervous. I'll be on my way now, baby. I am moving on from the dirty circus. This time I'm walking at my own pace. 'Cause I'm not one to chase. It's time I moved on to the next place where I won't see your face. You thought that I'd come running back, but there's no turning back after what you did to me. You think it would be just like that, but it's time to face the fact that baby I'm gone. So long. I'll be okay now, baby. Don't you worry at all. 'Cause I ain't nervous. I'll be okay now, baby. I am moving on. I'll be okay now, baby. Don't you worry at all. 'Cause I ain't nervous. I'll be on my way now, baby. I am moving on. Dirty circus. This time I'm walking at my own pace. 'Cause I'm not one to chase.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
There's a couple of mess ups in there. I forgot how much profanity was in that song. I had to change a bit of the lyrics on the fly. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, when you're sitting and from start to finish, how long does it take you to develop a concept for a song, then write a song, then develop the riff for it, and the
Yeah.
melody and all that stuff?
Usually I'll start off with like trying to write a riff that's hard hitting on the downbeat, so it's got a good bounce to it and you can nod your head. And then once I have, or I don't know, maybe if it is a little bit shreddy, but it definitely does have to go into that bouncing beat, you know? And I like to try and write things in a major key to keep it like positive and happy. So those are kind of my limitations. And then once I have an intro, then I will kind of build the song from there. I'll create a verse, pre-chorus, and chorus, and then I'll map my song out from there. So like, to show you an example, I came up with this one riff, and it basically goes. So from that, I could get the bum 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 bum, and yeah. So to try and follow that, I had to write a riff that was kind of like in tandem with it per se. So like coming out of it into the next riff would be like. Yep.
That was really awesome.
But yeah, yeah, that I played like the intro and then kind of like paraphrase versions of like the verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. But I don't know. It's simple writing. Like I'm definitely not doing any kind of jazz chord progressions or anything.
Right.
But I'm just trying to get people to dance, and I want something with a heavy downbeat, you know, and positive vibes. And high energy at the same time. So there's a little bit of an algorithm there, I guess, but at least for my own writing.
Now, could you explain the similarities and differences for the layman in the guitar world between a riff and a melody, or are they the same thing?
No, so it's kind of tough to explain because a lead guitarist can incorporate little fills that have like lead guitar qualities into their melodies. Let's see here, I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's see here. So for having let's see here. So, you know, a rhythm guitar might be doing like the background to something. This is gonna sound bad because I don't have like a foot switch to change between clean and dirty, but
Yeah.
the rhythm guitar might be doing like. And it just keeps going back and forth. And then, like, over top of that, you might have something where the lead guitar is like. And I don't know, just kind of like create melodies. In terms of like creating a melody, you just want it to tell its own story, and you don't want anything rushed. It's got to like, you know, flow with the feeling of the song.
Right. So, what are your favorite kind of musical pieces to write?
Lots of pop punk. It's like a mixture of pop punk and metal, to be honest. Just like that riff that I was playing earlier. It was from a song that I wrote called "The Craziest Night of Our Lives," but it's got kind of like a ripping intro where it's like. But then the next verse after that is like. So that's very reminiscent to bands like, Sum 41 or Lit. And yeah, I mean, even my own soloing, like, is very catered after Green Day, like pop punk, punk. I've got one for Sometimes I Care. That's basically yeah, so they're a little bit shreddy, but I'm not trying to be the next Herman Lee or anything.
Yeah.
But I just want to write cool riffs.
Which famous guitar players do you model your guitar playing after?
Probably Billy Joe Armstrong, which a lot of guitarists are probably gonna laugh at. They're like, "Oh, you can't play guitar." And it's just like, I'm not trying to be the next Marty Friedman or anything. Like, as much as I hate to say it, really good guitar players are like kind of a dime a dozen. I fell in love a lot more with like songwriting, with influences like Green Day and even Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses has shredding in it, but their songwriting is really really bouncy.
Like I've heard it with "Sweet Child of Mine," for example.
Yeah.
Would that be a good example of the bounciness of the?
Yeah,
Like the wow.
Yeah, because like you have your intro, but then the rhythm guitar is doing this bouncing beat. It's just like a good walking pace. You can bob your head to it and just moving. Yeah.
That's really awesome. About how much practice do you think did it take you to get from like a basic on the street guitarist to where you are today?
Well, my case is a little bit different because there are a lot of guitar players, especially the lead guitar players. Like, I've personally been playing for about maybe like 7 or 8 years or something like that, and I should be more well versed in like soloing than I am, but I just never really got to that. So somebody with like 7 or 8 years of experience can play quite a lot and know like a lot of technique. I've just been more of just songwriting, so I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs, but never really actively tried to get super fast on guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you ever played any other instruments besides guitar?
Yeah. In middle school and high school, I was playing alto saxophone, and during that time, I also kind of taught myself how to play piano by ear. I did like power chords, root, fifth, and octave with my left hand on piano, and then like the melody and like some chordage with my right hand. And yeah, I don't know. Any instrument that you put in my hands, I'll try to figure out at least some kind of melody. Like if you throw a mandolin in my hands, like the first thing I think of is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now.
Sorry, kind of put you on the spotlight there. But
No, you're good. God, it's an old song, and I know that it's not right. I want to say it's Eddie Money, but it's totally not him. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, but there's this little melody line. But I mean, all I'm saying is that like whatever instrument you handed me, like I've heard so much music through my time that I try to associate it with some kind of a pop song, and if I can learn that, then that already kind of gives me a basis of like what notes are where, and then I just kind of keep building around on whatever instrument it is, like the more I play it.
Cool.
Yeah, like even on guitar, you have your regular A chord. And then you can play like an A major up here. And then even all the way up here you can play an A. So string instruments are all over the board for what you can do on it. I don't know. Yeah, I like to tinker.
What difference does the whammy bar make in a song?
So right now, this one is like a limited tremolo, which means that I can make the strings like loose and not tighter. So basically what that means is I can go down with a note and I can't go up. Oh wait, this is, wow. Okay, so cross off everything that I just said. I thought this was gonna have it where it was fixed, where it could only go down, but this one actually has a full floating bridge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So now I can do like Herman Lee stuff. Or at least try and fail.
No, is the musical name for the whammy bar the tremolo bar, or what is that?
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. It originated with like hollow bodies and I think Fender maybe. But yeah, they had simple tremolos. It was used in like surf rock a lot. And then all of a sudden the 80s just grabbed it and ran with it. They put it on every lead guitar possible. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep, and then, yeah, so this would be like a floating bridge. A fixed bridge is where the strings go straight into something onto the guitar body. So that they're stationary. There's no whammy bar included.
Okay. Do you like playing the fixed bridge over the whammy bar, or do you like doing the whammy bar over the fixed bridge, or do you like a combination of both?
I like either or, cause like, this is an Ibanez 420, and I have a Ibanez 521, and that one has a fixed bridge, and I've thought about putting a tremolo on it, but at the same time, I kind of want to leave it as is, just because like, a fixed bridge will have much more sustain. You can hold a note way longer with a fixed bridge than like a tremolo bridge, because this part down here, because it moves around, it kind of is a dampener in a way on the strings.
So it kind of quells the sound a little bit, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to play some more, or do you? What do you think?
Yeah, I can do one more song, and then we'll close it out with that.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. So yeah, so the riff that I was playing earlier from The Craziest Night of Our Lives, I'll just play that song through. That one's a nice party song.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go! Come on, everybody, and move it to the music. Get up, it's a party tonight, so just lose it. Throw your drinks up in the air. Middle fingers, we don't care. We gonna party till the morning comes, yeah. Follow me, I'll show you how it's done. Nobody's gonna leave until the booze is all gone. I am the DJ of the night, playing all your favorite songs. So dance the night away as we groove along. Oh yeah, it's the craziest night of our lives. Oh yeah, we're people jump is what we like to do. So don't be feeling nervous when you wanna bust a move. Come right up to the front, baby, show us how it's done. And grab your friends and show us how you have fun. Oh yeah, it's the craziest night of our lives. Oh yeah, we're going to a party tonight. Alright, let's see those hands in the air, people. I'm watching, I know. Okay. Gonna count this beat down, change it, slow it down a little bit. Let's get sick. There's a little bit of a paraphrased ending. I don't have my lead guitarist here, and there's the big solo outro, but yeah.
Now, for those that have they deal with mental illness because they're locked up at home right now, and I don't mean to change the subject, but how can the tone of a key of a guitar influence somebody's mood based on what you've seen?
Oh, that's actually a really cool question. Let me show you. So typically what you want is for like a clean tone, you know, you can have like a leady clean tone. And then if you want to smooth it out and make it like much more calming and relaxed, then you can take your, you know, either your tone knob and turn that to 10, or else you can take your 5-way switch and put it in the 5th position. And I mean, you can just hear it. But I personally like using my tone knob. But yeah, you can write something more serene with a clean channel as well.